Hey guys, we're back. This time around we got another Wave 4 expansion for the World of Tanks miniatures game. This time around we have the British Comet. And we're going to get right in and take a look. As with all the expansions, inside the little booklet here are instructions on how to redeem the code that is on this little card here. You can use those codes to get some free stuff in the online game of World of Tanks. So if it's something you're interested in, check it out. The codes work for both new players as well as existing players, so definitely look into it if it is something you're interested in. First thing we have here is our vehicle card. You can see our Comet has the light flank, which is kind of a detriment, not really an ability. It is a tier 7 medium tank for 67 points. Has a 5 firepower, which is pretty nice for a medium. 2 survivability, 3 mobility, which is very nice for a medium. 6 initiative, again very nice. 7 hit points, which is really good for a medium. And then we've got a commander, gunner, driver, radio operator, and loader, all 5 crew slots on there. On the back we have our history of the tank down here, a little bit about it, as well as our medium tank ability. When shooting, you can reroll a blank attack die. And then the light flank ability. When this tank is the target of a sided shot, you subtract an additional defense die. So normally when you're flanked, either attacked from the side or the rear, you lose 1 defense die. If you're attacked from the side, you lose an additional defense die, which kind of sucks. Keep that in mind if you're driving one of these. You're very vulnerable from the sides. Keep your front pointed at your enemy. Onto our upgrades. First one we have here is a Cyclone Filter, which is a generic upgrade for 3 points. +1 initiative during the movement phase. Allows you to reroll a failed repair roll when attempting to repair an engine fire critical. Always nice to have things that allow you to reroll the repair rolls, but 3 points +1 initiative during movement only. That one's kind of a mix. I think there's something else that allows you to stop an engine fire. I think the fire extinguisher or something that can be used on other stuff as well. You just don't get the initiative bonus. Next we have improved radio for 4 points, another generic upgrade. At the start of the shooting phase, this tank can swap its base initiative with another friendly tank until the end of the phase. This one has a 6, so you'll probably be swapping with somebody lower than you. It's possible you have somebody higher. There are ways to boost tanks up pretty high, but being able to swap your initiative out does allow you some added options for when your tanks move around, where you can deploy them or move them to, basically strategically wise. That's totally up to you. Depends on the build, depends on what else is in the platoon, and if you're going to make use of it. Onto our crew cards, we have Jack of all trades, who's a generic commander for 4 points. Gives you +2 initiative during the shooting phase. At the start of each of your turns, you can flip this card over. You flip it over, you get the Jack of all trades commander card that gives you +2 initiative during your movement phase. And at the start of the turn, you can flip it over. So it gives you +2 maneuver or during movement phase, +2 during shooting phase. You get to pick which one's going, but you can only flip it once per turn at the start of your turn. So you have to plan ahead on what you're going to be doing. That one for 4 points I kind of like because it can be used for shooting as well. You already have a 6. You can get that +2 in the movement phase, put you up to an 8, which will allow you to move last or later anyway in the turn and see where your opponents move, set yourself up. Or you can use it in your attack to shoot earlier, and shooting on an 8 will give you a nice advantage. You should be shooting before a lot of other tanks and hopefully taking out that target before it can fire back. Next we have a basic driver upgrade, preventative maintenance for 5 points. When defending, this tank can modify a success into a critical. That allows you to take a successful defensive roll, modify it to a crit, then you can use the crit to decide what you want to block of your opponent's attack dice. So maybe you can block a critical if you want, or who knows, maybe you might go for something else and hope you get the critical that does no damage. And last we have Ruben Manyweather, who's a unique gunner, British only for 2 points. He has armor, +1 attack when this tank is affected by crew stunned or optics damaged critical card. And then repair. This tank can attempt to repair an additional critical each turn. You have a tank that has 7 hull points, you're probably going to take some criticals throughout the course of the game, so the repair one is definitely worth it. The armor, I'm not sure if these two play too well together, because if you have one of these, you're going to try to repair them, in which case you get this bonus. If you fail to repair them, you might get the +1 attack, but at the same time you're losing other bonuses too. So I'm not totally sure which way to go with him. He is only a 2-point upgrade. Most of your crew named ones especially are way overpriced. So that worth it in the end. But yeah, these two abilities seem to contradict each other, because I'm not sure if I have either of those upgrades, if I want to keep them in order to get the +1 attack, when I can obviously repair them.
And then into our model. This is the first time I've actually seen a model up close of the Comet. I don't have this one for the old game. A lot of detail in there though. I will try my hardest not to break the spotlight off the turret like I did with the, I think it was the Cromwell. But yeah. Again, they haven't changed really anything on these models from the ones in the old game. They even have the little holes here where you can mount the 50 cal machine guns that were available. And as I pointed out with the others, there's no hole drilled in the turret or in the barrel. It's not going to focus on that. But if you want to drill that out, which I might do, if I can find a bit small enough to do that. But so there's a look at everything that comes in the Comet expansion pack. It's a pretty mediocre medium, high attack value, which is nice, high hull value, which is nice as well. Kind of fits on par with the Pershing as far as that goes. The added maneuverability, having a 3 maneuverability on a medium tank is exceptional. It's one of the better ones out there. I think 3 is the highest we've gotten. I think 3 is the highest in the game, but still, it's pretty nice for a medium combined with that high firepower. We have our cheap crew option here that gives you that bonus to your attack when you have certain criticals on your tank, but also the combination of having that repair. That one, like I said before, seems kind of strange, but it works, I guess. For 2 points, you can't knock it. I really like the preventative maintenance with the tank like this to give you that extra defensive bonus. That combined with the 2 survivability is nice. However, you got to watch out for that light flank vulnerability that you have. The slightly higher than average initiative will allow you to position yourself hopefully later in the turn so that you can make sure your front is facing your opponents and not a side, giving them those flank shots and letting them take advantage of your weakness there. The odd thing I find with the light flank ruling is that the way it's worded is shots from the side remove an extra defense, where normally you lose 1 defense die if being flanked. In this, if you're attacked from the side, you're losing 2 defense dice. However, if you're attacked from the rear, you still only lose 1. So I think that's weird. I don't know why they just didn't make it entire flank, but I'm pretty sure the exact wording said from the side. Yeah, when this tank is the target of a side shot. So by that wording, it wouldn't apply to rear shots, which I think is just weird. Maybe it's an oversight in the rules, but that's something to keep in mind too. I will admit that I'm not a British player, so I'm not all that familiar with the British tanks. I have all the ones that have come out so far. I think the Firefly is probably the best of them. The Valentine makes a good scout. The Cromwell's kind of in the middle. This one has the durability, I think. So all of them combined probably make an interesting platoon, but I don't actually play them, so I can't say for sure how they'll work out. Just how their stats compare to the other factions. Overall, though, the Comet looks like a decent mid-range tank. Does a little bit of everything. Has a mediocre initiative, has that high maneuverability, has a decent amount of firepower. Yeah, it looks to be pretty average to me. The points cost is a little on the higher end, but you're getting the higher hull and everything else for that. So in the end, I think it evens out. But yeah, I'm pretty neutral on this one, so I'll leave it up to you guys to decide if it's worth picking up for your platoon. That said, that's going to wrap it up for our World of Tanks miniatures game Wave 4 Comet video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.